Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Welcome to this workshop on communication skills. First, we will have a very brief introduction of communication skills, very briefly. And in this introduction, first we will see what is the communication, what are the various areas, and once we have identified the areas, then we will move to the next segment. And in that segment we are going to talk about skills, what is the skill, and we will see what are various communication skills that we need to have effective communication. So let's start with the communication. Communication, we all know that it is imparting or receiving or exchange of information between one person and the other, or one person or the audience. Various areas that we see in communication. First, sender will be speaking and receiver will be listening, and in its feedback, now the receiver, he will be acting as sender, he will speak, and the first person who was the sender, he will be listening now. So this is a cycle of communication that we all know. So basically we have defined that there are two areas, one is speaking and other one is listening, and when this they go on alternating, this is the feedback. Now let's have introduction to one other area that we usually do not keep in mind, but let's talk about the third area. Before one speaks, he has to use his mind for thinking. So areas that are being utilized in this communication, it is area of thinking, area of speaking, and then area of listening. And in feedback, this whole cycle is repeated. The receiver is now thinking, he is speaking, and the sender, now he is listening. By this exercise till now, we have recognized that there are three areas which are being utilized in communication. First is that of thinking, second is speaking, and third is listening. I hope these three areas you have captured it well. Now let's see what is the skill. Skill, if we define it, it's ability to do something well, or you can call it expertise as well. Then it is to train a person to do a particular work. It may also be defined as a talent or ability to do something well. So till now we have dissected two things. We have seen the communication, its process, its areas, and we have come to know what is a skill. In skills, we enhance our abilities in certain areas of performance. So in communication, these are areas of performance: thinking, speaking, and listening. And once we have identified these three areas of work in communication, now we will see what are various skills that are needed in these three areas. We will try to keep it very simple, and we will talk about very basic skills only. In area of thinking, the basic skill that we need to have is there are two, and that is positive thinking and thinking big. And as I promised, we will try to keep it simple, and we will talk about two skills in each of these three areas. The second area is that of speaking. The two skills that are required is body language and selection of words. The third area was listening, and the two skills that we are going to talk about in coming days, these are active listening and empathy. So by now we have seen what is communication, what are skills, and what are the skills required in communication. Communication skills, we can say that this enables us to have effective communication. And how does it do that? It will do it with the skills of number one, the first area, positive and big thinking. The second area was speaking. The skills required are pleasing body language and good selection of words. And third area that we define, the skills needed are listening actively with empathy. So I think this was very brief introduction of what's communication, what are skills, and what are the communication skills that we require to have effective communication. I hope we have done it very brief. Please do not hesitate to ask any question if you've got in mind. Thank you.